And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Welcome to Alaska Weather. I'm meteorologist Peter Chan, coming to you from the National Weather Service on this Saturday, April 27th, 2024. And if you'd like additional weather information on top of what I give you in this YouTube video, you can go to weather.gov. That is the National Weather Service's online presence. It'll bring you to a map of the continental U.S. with Hawaii and Alaska to the lower left, tabs for the territories. You can even personalize a location to get the current weather conditions and forecast. But if you point and click anywhere on this map, it'll pull up a very specific forecast, including any relevant watches, warnings, or advisories. It's a great way to check up on places where family and friends live, or maybe you're planning to do some traveling, kind of see what's going on. Well, biggest weather story the past couple of days has been severe weather in the nation's midsection here in the plains. This Saturday afternoon, we have tornado watches from extreme southwest Wisconsin all the way down into north central Texas. Once again, there have been several reports of stronger tornadoes like yesterday, and also the potential for some heavier rainfall that could lead to flooding. There's a pretty strong area of low pressure here in the lee of the Colorado Rockies. Stronger southwest winds, dry winds coming up behind this system is producing critical fire weather conditions. Red flag warnings there because of just the dry, blustery conditions. And then even a few winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings for the Colorado Rockies. But here in Alaska, finally, a generally quieter weather pattern this weekend across the vast majority of the state. And we've seen a lot of snow melt and sublimation of that snow occur here over the past week. Sublimation being the process by which a solid goes directly to a gas. That would be the ice solid of the snowpack going straight to water vapor instead of melting to water, then water vapor. But this is all leading toward the river breakup, and we're starting to see early signs of that river breakup underway. The last quarter moon is coming up this week on May 1st, Wednesday. And it's looking like as we get into May, by next weekend and the following week, we could see a bit of a cooling trend, a little wetter weather possible next weekend into the following week. So May is not going to come out super warm, at least to start, but better than it has been. Now, Wainwright along the northwest coast finally got the camera and weather observations back there. Mostly sunny, breezy, only 8 above. We've had some chilly temperatures along the Arctic coast. They will continue, along with some blowing snow in areas. But Unalakleet there along the east end of Norton Sound is seeing low clouds and fog, 34 degrees. Gulkana, mostly sunny and 53. That's helping to facilitate that snow melt and sublimation, causing the rivers feeding into the Copper River there to be rising. And Gustavus in the Panhandle enjoying partly cloudy skies, temperature 61 at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and a number of readings in the northern Panhandle this afternoon have been above 60, including Juneau. As warm as 64 so far at Haines. So another thing kind of winding down to keep an eye out for here this weekend into early next week. There are multiple weak coronal mass ejections coming from the sun. They're going to be arriving over the course of this weekend into early next week. Minor geomagnetic storms will be possible. That could lead to some enhanced auroras possible. The last quarter moon occurs Wednesday, May 1st, because we had full moon this past Tuesday on the 23rd. But Alaska aurora viewing season is fading fast. We're gaining over 5 minutes of daylight each day. So the nighttime is shortening. Have a limited window left to catch perhaps a brighter aurora here within the next week. And then we're going to have to wait until it gets dark again, come later in the summer, late August into September. One thing, though, most notable about the hazardous weather map, I don't have any watches, warnings, or advisories on this thing. It's been quite a while since I can say that, and that's at least as of 3 o'clock this afternoon. Doesn't mean some isolated thing could pop up, but at this point, no real significant weather systems impacting the state. So a quick check of the Alaska Pacific River Forecast Center breakup map. Where you see these darker blue areas, it means there's open water. So the upper headwaters of the Yukon River has seen the ice move out with openings there above Dawson City. We also have some openings in the water along the Tanana, upper Tanana rivers, also around the Copper River Basin. So things are beginning to proceed, and typically it's this this side of the state here that sees break up and melt off first, followed by, we're expecting to be a bit of a delay in the west side of the state here, anywhere from a couple to maybe 3-4 days later than normal, but that trend is still holding. Looking at the satellite imagery, we have an area of low pressure here just west of Haida Gwaii that's keeping some showers up in the southern panhandle, and we have another low southeast of Sand Point, south of the Alaska Peninsula, and then a couple of lows back out here just south and west of the western and central Aleutians. High pressure up over the northern Bering along the Russian coastline. That ridge extends northward to a little stronger high up over the central Arctic Ocean. And notice much of the mainland interior is enjoying some sunshine and clearer skies. So again, this is just helping, the higher sun angle helping to melt off and sublimate that snowpack. We do have a scattering, a popcorn of a few snow showers, snow rain showers mixed here in areas of northwest Canada, and also a few pockets, perhaps here in the southeast mountains of the mainland and up here along parts of the Brooks Range will be the case the next couple of days. So as we go through tonight, we expect that low to kind of pull and kind of wobble back out from the southeast Gulf down into the North Pacific. Weak ridge of high pressure holds over the central, northern Bering up into eastern Russia with, again, the stronger high up in the Arctic Ocean, and then this other little low scooting by south of the central Aleutians by Sunday afternoon. There is some weak low pressure troughiness back here into northwest Canada, British Columbia, with scattering of showers. That'd be rain, snow showers as we go through Sunday daytime. Less likely, not impossible, isolated rain, snow shower popping up along areas, say, from the 40-mile Gold Country down into the Wrangell, St. Elias Mountains or parts of the Brooks Range, but pretty far and few between. And then as we go into Monday afternoon, Gulf is pretty quiet, mainland generally quiet. This low stays south of the Alaska Peninsula, will likely head eastward south of the Gulf. And then here's a little better system entering the far western Aleutians from off of the Kamchatka coast in that area. But right now, at least to start out early next week, pretty quiet weather. And low temperatures Sunday morning, generally above freezing through the Panhandle, with some areas not getting below 40. Here, even in the mainland areas of south central, maybe down near just below freezing Copper River Basin, but generally nighttime temperatures staying above freezing, and when that happens, we continue to lose that snow cover and see those snow piles finally reduce. And then back here through the Panhandle, maybe a little cooler Sunday afternoon, highs upper 40s, lower 50s, more common. 50s generally throughout areas of south central, even down along coastal areas, say down at Seward, 54, 53 over at Homer. And then Monday morning lows, a few spots in the Panhandle could dip down near freezing as a result of some clear skies, and then out here also back down near freezing Copper River Basin. Some of the colder spots could be a little colder than that, but otherwise Anchorage Bowl and again along the Gulf Coast, nighttime readings holding at least 3 to 5 degrees above freezing, and daytime highs Monday afternoon generally in the 50s, both Panhandle and across south central. In the far north, this is where the cold air is. It's along the Arctic coast north slope. There will be some lows in the single digits above and below zero once again. Could be down around 20 Yukon Flats. Otherwise, still getting a bit below freezing along the middle upper Yukon. A few areas, maybe around Fairbanks, Delta Junction, seeing lows stay above freezing, but everybody generally getting a bit below freezing. Daytime highs, warmest readings Sunday afternoon will be in this area of the east central interior. 51 around Fairbanks, Eagle 55 Northway. Highs only maybe near 10 above Dead Horse on over toward Kaktovik. And then Monday morning lows, still few spots could be down near zero along the north slope and Arctic coast. Again, below freezing, we've got that freeze-thaw cycle, and at nighttime getting below freezing, daytime nicely above freezing. And some of the areas, the middle, going up the Tanana valleys, also on just on the west-northwest side of the Alaska Range, some temperatures like around McGrath and that getting above 50. Coolest readings now tend to be along the west coast, along the coast there that include the East Bering or the Chukchi Sea. Lows should generally get a little below freezing across the southwest interior, down near just above freezing Alaska Peninsula and the eastern Aleutians. High temperatures Sunday afternoon, warmest just on the west side of the Alaska Range, upper Kuskokwim, lower 50s or so. 43, 45-ish there at Bethel, and then along the lower Yukon Delta, mid-30s, so just a bit above freezing. Highs near 40 down around on Alaska, and then Monday morning lows near freezing across the southwest interior, a little colder along the outskirts here of the Yukon coast. And then as we go down through the Alaska Peninsula, generally above freezing, and temperatures, we're just seeing this lag in cooler temperatures along the west side of the state is what's going to keep the rivers from breaking up along this area, delay that effect by several days, 2 to maybe as much as 5 compared to the normal breakup dates. And looking at the temperature trend, even though this new week coming up will feature some milder temperatures, as we move past the first week into the first week of May, so by next weekend into the following week after that, we may see temperatures average below normal across areas of the, say, north of the Yukon River, especially North Slope Arctic coast, maybe a little above normal here across the Panhandle. This area here, cooler temperatures around Cook Inlet, the Kenai Peninsula, because there's going to be this low next weekend come up. It's going to be rather dreary and wet, breezy low that's going to come up and impact much of this area. And we're anticipating precipitation could average above normal, especially next weekend in these areas with the impact of that low. And much of the state could potentially see precipitation average a little above normal. And this trend of a cooling going in even beyond, say, the 7th of May is likely. So we're not looking at a super big, fast warm up in early May, which is kind of good news for the river breakup because that'll just kind of slow it down a little bit, allow the upper areas of the rivers to break up first and hopefully not create too much in the way of a dynamic breakup that would lead to ice jam flooding. But again, stay tuned over the next week because river breakup will start to accelerate and be more pronounced, and we'll have updates as more information becomes available on the major river systems.